just out here in Juneau, down by high school, down by the ball game, on a Saturday. Again, light rain this morning. It's always the highs and the lows. We're sort of trying to come up with our our funding to get this location for this business, and like I was saying yesterday, driving around kind of like a mess. Hadn't worked out, making all the phone calls, going into City Hall, and doing that kind of stuff. You know, like 5 or 6 different venue ideas all fell through. Too many roadblocks, too much bureaucracy, too much of a timeline. We found one 2 acres spot. I'm gonna run down there and do a video of it, or even just splice it in here. But it's 5,000 a month for the 1 acre, and really good to hit up a gym here this morning. But 1 acre and 3 months, 15 grand. Now, if I can get some sort of a deal where, with the high school or something, see the bleacher seating, somehow I can lease some bleacher seating and put it in there, or build some. I get a 200 capacity with my bleacher seating for my show, my lumberjack themed one dog class show. We're looking at charging people like $25 a piece to start out, minimum. Probably more than that, maybe more than that, but $25 a piece. If I can get that capacity full, just three times, not 3 days, but just 3 shows over the course of the summer, all of a sudden, 25 times 200, that's 5 grand. That's 1 month's rent at that location. When you're talking about the business numbers for an idea. And so I think it's doable. Do I have 15 grand? No. There's an application fee. Like I was saying yesterday, and I'm not sure I'm going to upload that part, but you need some partners. You need some other people with you, not just for advice sometimes for business, but also not just for finances either, but also for, I think, just, everyone's got weak spots. Like I was just in the gym, and there's like a woman there, some Korean chef who was pretty in shape, and she's like doing all the workouts and stuff. And like honestly, just like grabbing half a dozen people from a gym like that who are like in shape and stuff, probably more in shape than me, you know what I mean? Or just someone like that who's really dedicated, who has the physical fitness part for this type of show down, and try to outsource a little bit of the managerial stuff to them, because I know enough from my experience with tour companies when I was younger. I can do a lot vision creative, but like day-to-day managing stuff, I want to be a great guide, I want to be a great performer, I want to be part of it, but actually the day-to-day managing other people, I don't want to get caught up in personally having to have the responsibility of telling other people what to do, because I don't think it's a strength for me. I'm a much stronger creative visionary. I'm a much stronger type of person who can show up and do a great job at the show. Work, as a great guide, working with the clients is a great, that sort of thing. So I appreciate, you need some other skill sets when we're trying to design this thing too. But it's just sort of an interesting moment, I think, where, I think within like 5 days, I can get this thing going out there, and make it happen. It's just a question of like, where in, someone's walking by, I'm gonna play with their dog, but where in Juneau could you actually get investment for that type of a project? You know what I mean? Is there even, not really a startup, but it kind of is. Is there even in Alaska, or specifically in Juneau, which is the state capital? And you think there would be, but is there much of a, ecosystem for funding, for trying to develop teams? Like, you look at some of the stuff in the States, and the doors sort of closed for someone like me for some of that stuff in the States, but like the Unreasonable Institute or Y Combinator and those kind of things, we're not really a technology thing. We are sort of a end goal towards a social enterprise, though, with the race, and how the race has a definite purpose. And so it's just sort of an interesting moment, I think, where it's like, is the without the right, but really, as a person who would have some doors closed in their face, I think, and trying to go those types of established routes, maybe it's in my best interest. This stuff is in the community. The resources, the skills are in the community. How do you find them? How do you pull people together? You got to fight through the walls. You got to keep asking questions. You got to keep hustling, and that's what we've learned the last couple of days. We had a great idea of doing this type of show up on Auk Lake by University of Alaska Southeast or Mendenhall Lake Forest Service, and both of those fell through. Or both of those, they just, it's not going to happen soon enough for me. And also Thane Orhouse, the Haida Tinglet's doing something out there. Nothing's going on out there, but they got it. They got the go-ahead, and they get like a 35 or 15-year lease and 5 years to do something. Nothing's going on. My house, so that would be a great location. We got a bus wheel back and forth. The location we're looking at is the strongest one. And again, I just want to say, what we're talking about doing is, weaving the best of the old stuff in terms of what fitness used to be. Fitness used to be for man, for humanity, living off the planet, being able to go out there and hunt, fish, to build a house from local logs, to be able to, fish right there in the local landscape, to feed yourself, to shelter yourself from the local landscape, and then not take too much, not outsourcing, not having someone in the foreign country. Get your food, or even the local fruit, prepare your food, and not strip mining or clear cutting in a distant place so that you can have resources here. So the race, what we're trying to build for the race and for the one dog class is, the world over, connecting people in a more balanced fashion with the landscape. Skiing or traveling through a distance of wilderness via your own power, whether it's skiing or hiking or whatever. Some fitness like calisthenics, like pull-ups, or like weightlifting type challenges along the way, CrossFit type or Spartan type format type stuff, mixed in with it at different checkpoints along the way. Have it be like a longer stage endurance race, but only during the race you can use the food you gathered yourself. So trying to program into the future generations the local food system connection, the connection with the earth, with the planet, with the rhythms, with the seasons, with what nature right in your backyard can provide, so you don't take too much, all the sensitivity, all the understanding that comes with that, and also the connection to the outdoors, and how that sort of thing builds bonds and builds partnerships and builds understanding through the generations, so that they want to protect and conserve those types of spaces, and they're sensitive to the balances near and far for the future. But long story short, what the tour can do is, in a short fashion, a 1 hour show, just like the 1 hour Glacier Sled Dog Tour rides, we can have it be just like the Lumberjack Show and Ketchikan or some of the ones other ways. We've got a big theme of the Lumberjack, we've got a big theme of the old fitness type stuff, but we're also blending it in with some of the new type stuff, with the CrossFit, with some dog agility, some sort of a Ninja Warrior type course, where we're sort of blending the old with the new, really focusing on being something that's extremely spectator friendly. Again, our goal is to have this 1 acre lot, and at the front of it have it be like a booth where we're selling tickets, we're serving bulletproof coffee, just good coffee, trying to make it cheap, trying to make it affordable, with some like high grade butter as an option there, and we're in some high grade, high fat, high protein jerky type snacks there, having someone who's serving those things dressed in a very appealing fashion as like a lumberjack type thing. And then also in the evenings over the course of the summer, we really want to work not just having our MC type person doing some music potentially, or involving music in our shows. We want to have it be something where we can have local performers, not like the old guy. I'm not saying it's bad to have the old guy like at the Alaskan River, but some young people from the community who might be messing around with art or something, give them a chance to get up there, even with the tourists, do some performing in and amongst, spliced in with our shows in the evenings. And I think that's going to be real, almost a concert type vibe, a real revenue driver for us in terms of bridging the distance between all the tourists and the locals, and giving some local young people a chance not just to perform in terms of the physicality of the lumberjack and the CrossFit and some of that stuff we're trying to do with our show, but also towards the creative arts. It's like me too. It's like a young person in Alaska. Where's your chance? Where's your pathway? Even if if you're a hip hop artist or have ambitions around that, or if you've got a SoundCloud, or if you're a girl in Anchorage and you've uploaded some covers, this, that, or the other thing. Where's your opportunity to get up there and just for fun, sort of a low key, not a real, to perform for some tourists, to perform for some people, potentially just get invaluable experience, make a little money, get some other connections, maybe someone else is doing it, you can partner with them on a song or something like that. And the same sort of thing with this entire program, with our Lumberjack show, with our race and everything. We're going to be able to be building community around the idea of all of a sudden we're going to have some networking where, you know, someone's doing the lumberjack, someone else doing the lumberjack. Maybe they're going to connect together and go train together in the gym, or go on a climb together up the road here in Juneau, or go do a half marathon together in Skagway, or even maybe start another business in the area together. That's also going to have it's going to connect with what we're doing, an underlying social purpose, an underlying, you know, social environmental angle, where we're, you know, trying to fix and bridge bridles and fix, you know, problems in the community. So I think that's a special idea. How we have there's an ethics, there's a moral, there's a fitness, there's a bigger goal than just profit with everything that we're trying to do here, and that's what ultimately will drive us. But to get to that goal, you know, like I said years ago, you know, the 1 dog class I did was good. It was good down Jackson, it's good in Teton, it's good up here in Alaska. But you know, to try to make it happen, you have to be better economically and logistically positioned. So this is what we're trying to do with this show. Not only just get great at doing the spiel and having a fun time and making money for the tourists. We're trying to, you know, and creating jobs, blah, blah, blah. We're trying to get the money so that we can launch our idea for the race in the winter, or even in the summer, a race up Haines Skagway or something, overland orienteering with some fitness challenges, you know, and having it be, again, the theme where you can only use during the trip the food you got yourself from the landscape. So programming in that sensitivity, programming in that connection to the younger generations. But the venue here is really good, positive, but, you know, what we're up against right now in terms of this video log is, you know, we want to get it going as soon as possible. I need to get staff, I need to get, you know, the people to do this, and I need to get the bleachers, the seating, insurance, and I need to get $15,000, whatever that stuff costs, plus $15,000 just to get that venue reserved for 3 months for the summer. And walking distance to cruise ships. Do I think I can make that kind of money back? I probably can make 20 grand in a day, you know, at that location this summer. And it's a 3-month season. I have not just confidence, I have clarity, and I have a passion around my clarity that this is not only going to be a winner in terms of making tons of money, it's going to be a winner in terms of accessibility with its location. It's going to be a winner in terms of you know, ultimately working to alleviate poverty and to, you know, restore cultural, you know, not just to Native people, but to people everywhere, cultural, you know, the cultural genius that was in our DNA for so many, you know, not just the paleo shit you read about in the magazines, but, you know, living off the land, that connection, to restore that, program that into the youth. Those lessons are invaluable. That understanding, those are going to be the next generation of your conservation, of your social justice leaders, and your athletes, and your entrepreneurs, and your artists. So this is going to be a winner. We're going to make it win. We're going to have the team. We're going to get the location. We're going to get the funding. Momentum's there. We've got the drive, we've got the clarity around the plan, and we've got ultimately the social purpose. And, you know, this is the best place to do this. This is the capital of Alaska. This is a place I came to when I was 18 years old, and I worked 4 or 5 summers here, and then several summers up to Skagway, Haines too, and southeast Alaska with the ocean, the mountains, and the beautiful whales breaching in the sea, the black bears you can see when you go for a hike in the mountains, or just even driving on the road, the eagles flashing across the sky, you know, fishing for silvers off the coast of Douglas Island, the young people from all over, mixing with the young people from the communities in Alaska, but from all over who come here to work for this summer. Their optimism, their energy, their enthusiasm for, you know, for fitness, for the outdoors, for nature, for Alaska, and for the wilderness and the intact ecosystems that this place represents. And you know, and we want to keep that, not just here, but the world over. We want to keep that connection. That's the thing we celebrate here. That's the thing. That's the selling point of the economy here for the tourists, and that's what we're going to accomplish. We're going to do some amazing stuff.